Gordon, here's a very popular question is, what is sound therapy? Why sound therapy is more and more popular now worldwide, everywhere? And before you answer, I'd like to invite you to subscribe our YouTube channel and press the notification bell and give us a thumbs up. We have a video every week. Yes, so what is sound therapy?
I think the simplest way of approaching this subject is by breaking the phrase down, actually. Sound and therapy. If we consider each of those words, I think we might come to a coherent understanding of what sound therapy is all about. I think most of us know what sound is. In connection with the therapeutic use of sound, most people will tend to any experience they may have of sound bars or gong bars, which are presumably, we might think, therapeutic situations, would think it was a pleasant sound.
Not a bus, not a lorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a noise. In other words, we've got this kind of, we have an understanding of the difference between, say, music and noise.
Yes.
Noise is something that we don't like, and then it's kind of something which is disrupting us and is anything but therapeutic. But sound actually in therapy, well, we should think of that word also too. What does therapy mean? It's a kind of a way of making us feel better.
So activate the immune system, right?
If you want to be scientific about it, yes. Yeah, that's one way
everybody,
of looking at it.
yeah.
I mean, there's many
Self-healing system, everybody.
There's many different levels that you can think of therapy and therapeutic.
Yes.
The environments in which it can take place.
So sound therapy, can we say that is nice sound, not the noise, because the sound definition is too wide, like the waterfall, like the birds, right? So apart from the noise, the sound, and that can create people's therapeutical effect.
We've got to remember, if we want to think of the science of this, that a good place to start is this notion that everything's vibrating.
Oh, yeah.
And that if we're introducing a sound to somebody's body, mind and spirit, this is very important too.
Yeah.
We think of this link between these three that we often spit out without really thinking about the ramifications of the way that the mind and the body and the spirit are linked.
You know, the sound therapy is a very abstract idea. So, okay, I ask you another question. Modern days, these days, 21st century, if people Google or search, or when people say, oh, I went to a sound bath, so can you give us a definition? What kind of sound bath? Now, many sound baths, kind of, can you tell us what is sound bath? Can we say that singing, chanting, right? If I tell people, tell my friend, I went to a sound bath including chanting, right?
Yeah.
Like you say, tuning fork, and singing bowl, crystal bowl, gong, and what else? Drum.
Yeah, sometimes
African drum.
I think
didgeridoo.
Many ancient indigenous instruments can be used. Yeah,
yes,
that we
and
find in
combination. Some bass is many combination. Different instrument like vocal with crystal bowl.
Absolutely.
Or the shuri bass with gong and the singing bowl. So
chant, mantra is very powerful too.
So that is the sound bass. Creates a therapeutic effect to people, but more and more scientific report right now to say that the vibration can help people.
There's a lot more. I mean, there's been a wealth of research into this now. Much of it is ongoing, and you can look up. their scientific reports, so they can be quite dense and difficult reading because they're written by researchers for researchers, but not necessarily for the general public.
But there is a very popular experiment for the white blood, red blood. You can see below. I put a link. And another question to you is: do you know how popular it is in Google search?
I don't. You're going to tell me. You're going to tell me because I know you investigate this kind of stuff.
I just found a number. I was so shocked. Let's see. On Google search is 285 up. So that means that
285% up.
Yeah. Wow. That means that more than double people Google search sound therapy or sound bath, Why? Can you tell us why it's so more and more popular? Not only in Western, also popular in Asia now.
I think there's a critical mass involved in this. I think it's kind of, it's still actually in the kind of general media. If you look at sort of general media stuff, it's still, you'll occasionally see a report in an English newspaper or an online magazine. And it's still regarded as a bit of an oddity, but I think it's crept up. And in fact, I think there's a critical mass. And the reason for this, I think, is that more and more people have become trained at playing sound therapeutic instruments, whether it's gongs or singing.
That is supply. How about demand?
And why has that happened? And then they're putting themselves out into the marketplace and offering their
more
services.
Exposure to describe, to introduce what is sound therapy, what's the effect of the sound therapy.
I think also another thing that I think has helped with this is the worldwide increase in interest in yoga and meditation, yoga in particular, because the good thing about yoga is that you have to generally go to a studio to do it. You go to a teacher. Most people can't afford to have a teacher.
Sometimes we have apps now.
Sometimes we have apps, but I think people like the community of the yoga class. The good thing about yoga studios is.
Yeah, what's related to
the good thing about yoga studios is that people who run yoga studios want interesting things to put on in their yoga studios to attract
related
more people
to
in.
body, mind, spirit.
Yeah, exactly. And so, years and years ago, when I first started to play the gong in public, soon after
couple of years later,
that was in yoga studios, and I still do it, and many people do. And so I think that actually, as yoga has grown in interest and more yoga studios, many more yoga studios all over the world, then many more people trained in playing the gong and singing bowls and so on, then they've gone in and there's been not such a massive growth, but it's come in its trail.
So the supply is higher. Like many sound therapists, like gong player, singing bowl player, crystal and vocal, therapists in the market, and also the demand, because more the publicity, people kind of
and the social media, the growth of social media. I think people, the feedback people get, these instruments do look wonderful. We're talking about yoga classes. Well, yoga classes can be a bit dull to photograph. Gongs and singing bowls are actually really beautiful things to photograph.
Yeah, it's social media. It's not only good, but people went to the sound bath. That 90% or 80% people feel, very positive about the
you
effect.
get great testimonial.
Yes,
and so that we have this kind of increased awareness, increased positive feedback, increased facility, venues in which people can go and experience this stuff. I think all those things, and more people being trained to play the instruments. I think all those factors come into play.
Yes, I already say that. So can you give us very short example that you experience in London? How popular in London now? Sound baths.
Yeah. Well, I started off by saying that in my early days, where I was playing was predominantly in yoga studios, in one yoga studio in London that I still play in when I'm in England. When I started there, almost 10 years ago now, I was the only person, the only gong player, the only sound practitioner, if we say, that was playing in their whole calendar of their events, special events, anything. There was nobody else there. Now, if you look at their calendar, I'm not saying almost every other event is a sound related event, but many, very
popular.
And whereas,
and you say that in London, one street can get many different sound baths, gong baths, right?
Oh,
in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the market is such that in a district, let's say, rather than in a street, but in a small district, you'll have you could even have 3 events going on in one night, and they'll all be fully attended. Yeah.
Yes. So if you are fancy about what's the gong bath, sound bath we have in Asia, or also in England, please see below the description. And if you want to join us to be a sound therapist, also see below our description. You can hit the link. And
everything's below. Yes.
So
there's simple links below.
Yeah.
Easy to
above,
click on.
As above,
so below.
Yes.
As above, so below. We're above, and the links are below.
Yes. So very happy to see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.